Hello beautiful people and welcome back to the channel. So today we're making this beautiful keyhole detachable balloon sleeve top, would I call it. So let's get right before we get right into the video. I want to appreciate all my new subscribers. You guys are and then to my old subscribers, I love you and I appreciate everyone. Add things you'll be needing: your scissors, tape rule, your chalk, your pencil, your pattern paper. So here we're starting first with our shoulder measurements. So my shoulder is 15 inches divided by 2 plus half sewing allowance. So I measured at 8 inches. Make sure to always use your measurements. So from there, I measured the length of the blouse, which I used 8 inches plus seam allowance. So I measured it at 9, joining at the top and at the bottom, like the turning of the lower part. So that's making 9 inches. So here I'll just connect the dots together for the length of the blouse or top. I don't know what to even call it actually, but let's go with blouse for now. So after that, we measure our armhole. Mine is 7.5. Yeah. So I'm just trying to make it a straight line. So I was trying to just connect all the lines together so we could get our accurate measurements. So after that, we'll connect the armhole together. Mind you, from the center of the armhole, you always take, for the front, you always take in 1/2 inch at the center. So that's why I put the curve way into the armhole that I already measured. Then here I was taking my bust measurements. Use your bust measurements divided by 4 inches. And then I added 1.5 seam allowance. Why I added 1.5 seam allowance is because I'm turning it with lining. And by the time I turn it by half, I'm going to use 1 inch to join the front and the back together. So that's why I used 1.5 inch. But if you're not going to be using lining, you could just use 1 inch to turn it for that side instead of 1.5. So yeah, I was cutting the neck measurement, which I used 3 by 3 inches for the width and the depth of our neck measurements. So after that, we go to our shoulder. I'll take away 1/4 inches and then I slant it. So after that, we go to the center of our neck, the center of the clothes, and we measure 6.5 inches. That's where our front blouse is going to be reaching. And then we curve it. Me, I always find it the best way to curve things. But anyways, we curve our blouse. And mind you, when you're curving it, make sure you leave about 1.5 inch, because by the time you're joining it, so it's not be shorter for the back, because by the time you curve it, it's going to be shorter at the back for the back, so you have to leave that 1.5 inch. So here now we're just going to cut, but I didn't cut it finish because I want to use the front to cut the back. So I just cut it normally. I just cut it like because of the back sha. This is not the way to cut the front though. You still have to cut it sha. Okay, so here now I'm cutting the back measurement. So I'll be taking 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance because I'm using lining. By the time I turn it first before I use 1 inch for the zip directly. So then we're just taking 1.5 inch, and then I would mark all the dots together, join the dots together, and then I'll use the front to mark all the areas that I already measured, since I don't want to start measuring from the beginning again. So after that, we just cut it. Those places that we can cut together, we just cut everything. And mind you, you're still going to cut out the front away after you've cut the back, because we don't need those curved area again. So yeah, I was just cutting the shoulder, then I'll take the measurement for the back. The neck of the back. So the neck is going to be, the depth is 1 inch by 3 inches for the front. So the depth is 1 inch, and then the width, the wideness of the neck is 3 inches from where your zipper allowance stops. Yeah, but if you're going to join your zipper allowance, you just add 1.5 inch to it. So that's going to be making 4.5 inches for the back if you're adding your zipper allowance to your measurement. But me, I didn't add it to it. I just took it directly from the where the zipper allowance stops. So after you curve it, you just draw a straight line for that zipper allowance area. Because if you curve it, you're going to give the back another shape entirely, if you get what I'm saying. So you just treat it, and we're done. We cut it, and then we go back to the front and cut that extra center away. So here now we're going to our sleeve. So this sleeve now, we're going to be cutting 2 different sleeves. We're going to be cutting the lining, and we're going to be cutting the ankara. The ankara is way longer and bigger than the lining. So here now we took a measurement of 19 inches. That's our direct length for the blouse without the band. Then after that, we took 2.5 inches. That's for the slant of our armhole area. And then we're taking 8 inches because the sleeve is a little bit big and it's still going to be puffed up. So after that, I was trying to get the center of the 8 so I don't make mistake when I'm measuring. So here now, I'm going to be connecting the armhole area just to make the curve for that armhole area. And then when you're done, we'll go to the length of the blouse and we'll take 12 inches. So depending on how wide and how full you want your sleeve to be, this is the lining of the sleeve, not the sleeve itself. So you could use the lining is going to be how you want your blouse to be, like the sleeve of your blouse to be full. So after that, the end area you just take away 1 inch so that the sleeve is not going to be the same length. If it's the same length at the center of your armhole, it's going to be longer than the front. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. It's going to be longer, so it will give that slantish funny look. So yeah, we're already done. We're cutting our sleeve sash. This is the lining. Hey, don't be like me that I made a mistake by correcting myself. I used the lining without cutting the lining first. So what you do after you do this, you cut your lining first. Then I did the slash method instead of me to first cut my lining before doing the slash method. So I did the slash method, but then I had to use sellotape to join it back together so that I'll be able to get the lining. But don't be like me that you have to be joining. That's stressful. So just cut it first before you do your split and slash. Slash and you get what I'm trying to say? That method that you have to spread. Okay, slit and spread method. English is for those that own it, Shari, I beg. So after that, we go and take away from the ankara itself. We take away 3 inches. I said the length is the ankara is longer than the lining, and the ankara is fuller than the lining. So here while doing this slash method, I use about 3 inches. So depending on what inches you want to use, you can use 4 or 5, depending on how you want it to be full. So yeah, I was just tracing the areas that needed to be traced, just tracing it out so that we could get our sleeve. And then I used the 3 inches, round it to Don't forget to add extra inches, or if not, you're just sewing the normal basic sleeve without having to have that balloon effect. And why I don't like sewing it that way is because the band is not always very very firm. It's going to be falling and falling, but with the lining it's going to stay like where you want it to stay. So yeah, this is what I was telling you, that I had to be joining my own slash and spread method. I had to join it back to cut my lining. So yeah, I was cutting my lining. I don't know how I forgot. So yeah, I was cutting the ankara as well. So mind you, not the center of your lining and your ankara, both up and down, so that when you're joining them together, you're not gonna be joining rubbish. It will be very accurate and neat. So after you've successfully notched it, you go ahead to join to cut the band of your sleeve, depending on how wide your band is. Not even your band, your arm area, so that you can easily fit into the band of your sleeve. You measure your band, your wrist area, and then you cut what your measurement is by 3.5 inches. So I did 4.5 by 3.5. You can see my wrist is very tiny, and my arm area I can easily squeeze it inside. So if you know you can squeeze your hand inside, don't do it like mine. And then you notch the center of your band too, so that when you're joining them together, it will be easy for pinning and joining. So here now we've got the body of the top, and we've got the lining as well. So we'll go ahead to join the neck together. After we've successfully joined it, we're notching and notching and notching. So after you've notched it, you go and lap it. And I'm sure most of us know how to lap. You just sew directly on your lining. So after that, you join all your areas together and iron it. So you have done that, and then I'm joining my zipper allowance together. So after I've joined the zipper allowance, I'm going to go ahead to join my shoulders together. So after I've done that, I'll go ahead to, I told you there's only 1 inch that's going to be left for my body for the measurement. So I'm just going to go and take away 1 inch, and then I've done all of that. We'll put that aside, and then we're going to our sleeve. Now the sleeve is the babamba of the oro. It's a little bit stressful, but why not? So here now, we'll go ahead, our sleeves, join them by 1/2 inch on the side. After you've successfully done those, or done that, you will take your sleeve, pin down the centers together. Where you joined and the center of the sleeve, pin it together. You do it for the bottom and for the top. And if you realize, you already see that there's the effect of the long and the short. It's already giving it a puffy effect. So after you've pinned everything down, you'll be taking it to your machine. So after you've done that, you go to the lower part of the sleeve. You see that the lining is smaller than. So from the center where you joined, you're going to first take like 2 inch, then you gather the remaining to the lining. After you've done that, this is it. This is the effect. Have you seen what you give? It's already giving. So after you've done that, you take your band. Now the band is the big deal of the work. You join it together by 1/2 inch to both of it, and then you tuck your sleeve inside the band. It's very hard to, like, if you're not patient, you just do another method of just joining it. I don't want the sewing to be showing because of the lining, so I had to do it this way. Then you pin them down center to center. Always remember, so you don't do rubbish. So when you're sewing it, it's going to be very stressful because the band is way smaller than the sleeve. So you have to be very patient to gather the band. To gather the sleeve to the band. So after you've gone to your machine to do it, so here we're now turning it, the band, and we're going to put all the thread and everything inside and tuck it in and fold it and go and sew it. So that's why I use this method, because I don't want all the thread and I don't want to weave it. And then after that, that's our sleeve. See how beautiful it's already looking. What's it give pa? Then you will go and join your sleeve to your body, to the body of the. So yeah, I was just pinning all the centers together, and the sleeve is way bigger than the armhole intentionally, because I'm still going to gather it a little bit at the top to give it a little bit of puff effect. So after that, see the top now. Why wouldn't you want to have your own? Oh, it's giving, don't let us lie you. So you can sew the balloon for any top or anything, any top or gown you like. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. Have a lovely day. Bye.